Filmed in front of a live digital audience, The Lunch Break is a bi-weekly box of Black empowerment. It's always seasoned, never salty.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the next episode of Lunch Break. I'm your host, Jay, and I'm joined by
Keys. Black guys, the narrative.
We have a great show for you today. We'll go with the episode, okay? We have an episode full of salacious reality TV film drama, okay? We're going to have a nice snack for you, talk about some video games, all that good stuff. But let's get the show on the road. My stream deck tripping. So the first topic of the day is Coolio, the Gangsta's Paradise, y'all. Did this catch you guys off guard like it caught me off guard?
Yeah, it always catches me off guard, man. Like I don't think I experienced seeing a deathbed. I was like, oh yeah, I saw that one coming. Like, right. It's just been random. Like every time I see somebody trending now, I get worried. Like, damn, did they die? You know?
It really seems wild because a lot of we're losing a. It's crazy to see hip hop age to a point where people are starting to pass from what people could guess as old age.
Yeah, he wasn't even that old. He's just really like 59, 60.
Yeah, so
yeah,
makes me wonder.
Yeah, that's true though. It's like for you, obviously, like he's like you're like 18, so you don't really remember Coolio like that.
I just been doxxed.
But like Black Ice, man, like I remember in the 90s, man, he had some bangers, like some tracks that really, like, as a 80s baby, like some of his tracks really was a soundtrack of some like epic moments in my youth, you know. That 1 2 3 4 get your booty on, that track was banging. Oh my god, you would hear that all summer. Yeah. So you know,
Gangsta's Paradise, of course, that's the main thing that people known for, and I remember hearing that at school all the time for like months that they came out.
Yeah, I know. Gangsta's Paradise was the jam. So and we don't know how he passed. They said like he was in the restroom and he was in there too long, and his friend went in there and checked on him, and they saw him perish. This is rumor. I don't know. I didn't really research it. I'm not gonna front like
that's what I heard too.
Records every day, but I just want to say, family, take care of your health. Prioritize your health, man. Don't be out here just eating McDonald's and fried chicken and hog mog and collard greens and putting a bunch of Crystal hot sauce on it. Like, really?
Raw steak. Like all that stuff will kill you, bro. Like, you know?
Now why you gotta put me in it? It's about Coolio, not about me.
It's a shoe fit, my brother.
But everything in moderation. But let's just manage our health. Like, remember, your body is your temple. Like, there's nothing more important in this life than your body. Like, your body is where all your life takes place. And so if you don't look at, like, there's people that treat their car better than they treat their body. Like, you will not put diesel gas in your car, but you'll be drinking all the crazy sugariest drinks. You'll be drinking eating McDonald's every day. Like, some items on McDonald's, some combos literally have like 3,000 calories. And there's people that go there twice a day.
Even when it comes to the salad, sometimes at places like McDonald's and Zaxby's, these things are killing you. And you really did say a good point as far as just looking out for your health and being mindful of what you ingest. But one thing that a lot of people don't do, for instance, is check ingredients. You know, look up what you're eating, because we live in a system where they're incentivized to make sure that you're unhealthy, so they're able to make money off you within the healthcare. So we've got to be mindful of not only, you know, the foods we eat, but also these different medications and all these different, like, make sure you just do your research all around as to how to take care of your health, not when things start going downhill, but also as preventative measures.
That's a great point. And part of Black empowerment is taking care of your body. Like, how you can't really be about Black empowerment if you're not taking care of your health. You're not empowering yourself if if you can't get on a treadmill without passing out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once again, R.I.P. to Coolio. It's sad. Like for me, like not to divert, but I'm just scared of the day when I see Stevie Wonder trending because I feel like that's the one guy that could get Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you never thought Prince can get him? I know they had a little rivalry.
Nah. Prince music be boring. Prince got like a solid couple albums that to me were not like kind of whack. I know some people are gonna be like offended at that, but to me,
you off cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Jay.
He wouldn't say that. FBA wouldn't say that Prince is music is boring, but he does have some tracks to me that I'm just like, but like Stevie Wonder, he got album after album after album of bangers, just nonstop, and his singing and all that. So the Stevie to me is the only one that can get him. So Truth Seeker said your body is your temple. That is facts.
We're losing a lot of legends, but out of curiosity, as somebody that's over in California, how's the response been of late to this passing? I imagine it's huge.
I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
What?
Yeah, I've seen a few people.
I've also been on Twitter Spaces all day, so
yeah, that's a whole different story.
I've been on Twitter Spaces 8 hours a day because I got nothing better to do. No, people haven't said anything about Coolio passing. But we're gonna give everybody a cup of coffee right now. Next topic for discussion, and I promise everyone, next episode I'm gonna bring the paper bag back. So next topic of discussion is the California Reparations Task Force meeting. If you're unaware, on a week ago, you said what?
Coolio was there.
Well, Jay was there. You said who?
No, was there? Coolio was there. Okay, I mean, you got a picture in front and center.
Oh.
Damn, he was there before he died.
Coolio wasn't there this year on either day, but. God jokes. That was a good one. Yeah, so the California Reparations Task Force meeting, they had a meeting last week. It was awesome. LA really came out and voiced our concerns and let them know we want lineage-based reparations. Don't try to muddy the waters. I gave I would say a slightly passionate public comment. What do you want to say, Keith and Black Ice?
Well, I watched it live, and I did enjoy the part when you hopped on the mic. I thought it was very important. I really want to know your thoughts on the event. He says it's a great event, but for me, from what I heard and listened to, it was a lot of babble talk on the mic. You know what I mean? Some people make some good points, but a lot of people like, why are you talking,
man? When you get our people and a mic,
oh my God, I'm like, and then shout out to I would get shout out to the one person. I don't know where she was from, but she was saying how she was an immigrant and she just came there just to say, I want Black Americans to get the reparations from the U.S. and we feel I had no parts in it. So I thought that was cool because you see on like these Twitter Spaces, yeah, like everybody that's not from here, is off code, but but for some reason she felt like she had to say her piece, and I thought it's cool to see that. But there's a couple of people who I thought had good, passionate statements. But a lot of them, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm like, why you on the mic? Why you calling in?
Yeah, there was. She was from the CJEC, I believe. The lady that she was Haitian, and she said,
okay,
but this is specifically for a Black American. So yeah, give props to CJEC, NAASD. There's a lot of different or grassroots organizations that's really just putting boots on the ground. But overall, like my 2 cents is, I agree. There was a lot of babble. There was 2 types of babble that I really detest. What's up, B1 Ski Kid? What's up, Atalia? I'm gonna get that name one day. But okay. So
you get closer every day.
Thank you. But there was the we all gotta have respect babble. I'm tired of that crap. Stop asking black people love just like muting each other. Like Scared Eagles always, hey, calm down. You're getting too rambunctious. You know what I'm saying? Screw that. And then there was the other babble was the Native American guys. Oh my God, they were just upsetting me. There were so many cats in there talking about we're indigenous. We need to be trying to get the indigenous treaties. Why are you talking about this? Like, why are you talking about this black? We're not black. We're not African. And I was just like, nigga, this is not the time or the place. Okay.
Wow.
Go like Tara Perry. She's Tara Perry. She has a YouTube channel and she's on Twitter. She was yelling at him saying, take your Indian ass to the Indian reparations. Right. It's so true. It was a lot of that going on. That's why when I got to public comment, I said, stop asking us to have respect for these people because I'm tired of that respect. We don't need to have respect for people that don't have any respect for us. I am so sick of that.
Yo, I have a question, man. I see all the little food sign. Were y'all in a food court?
Yeah, so they Mr. I'm not gonna call him Reggie Joe Sawyer picked this location and he had us like by a food court and there was a field trip going on. There was kids all loud and stuff. It was hard to hear. So it was like really, it was just not good. This is not they don't do this to other groups. They do this to people like us. You know, they feel like they could just disrespect us. And and it was frustrating to see how they treat us like little kids. And a lot of black people act like it. It's like these people are outright. There's a damn Japanese dude. I forgot to bring that up. I was supposed to bring that up, but I was just going off. There's a damn Japanese dude on a reparations panel. Kind of damn.
Appointed by the governor. Well, one last question though. I know that report is due next summer. Now, from what you saw yourself, do you think you're going to ask for some real money? What are you thinking right now?
I think there's some people on there that's going to put real money up. Lisa Holder, Cheryl Grills, they are the ones that are all about let's give money to community organizations. And that's why when I gave my public comment, which I'll play, I said, they give money to these organizations and then white people lead them. And then none of the money trickles down to us because those two keep talking about damn community organizations. No, I need cash in the end. I don't need some organization to try to tutor me in math because they say education is the route to success. No, I don't need that. Give me cash in hand. Give me a couple $100,000 so I can really build what I need to build. And then you could create community organizations. But outside of that, I ain't trying to hear none of this babble about community organizations and all this crap. And I'm once again tired of all the respect. But I'm going to go to the clip real quick for those of you that haven't seen it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jay. I run a black media site named 6 Zeros. If you see this book, this is 13 chapters of what this nation did to our people, the atrocities we face. But what we have to remember is it was so successful because there's black people in our community that will sell us out. And some of those people are sitting right there trying to compromise a reparations task force panel. As Brother Chris talked about, Reggie Jones Sawyer put forth a bill which is going to allow them to remove members from the task force at will. So who do you think is going to go? The people that are for lineage-based reparations, the people that don't want the money to trickle down to all these groups. We've seen it time and time again. You create all these community organizations and white people run them. They give white people millions of dollars and it doesn't trickle down to us. So remember, there are traitors in our midst. And until we do something about that, we're never going to get a good outcome. Every single one of you up there, Lisa Holder, Cheryl Grills, we heard you. You tried to give our reparations to other people. And I'm telling you, it's a new day. We're not tolerating this anymore. This is our lives. Stop asking us to respect these people that will sell us out. I have no respect, and you have no respect for these people. Stop having respect for our enemy. That's it.
Thank you, Jay.
I like that.
I'm glad. I'm surprised he didn't just grab the mic and just dropped it on purpose.
Man,
and walked off.
that was good.
Thank you. Yeah. The way I walked off was basically a mic drop.
That was phenomenal.
I had to catch myself. I said, "There's traitors in our midst." I had to let my brain caught me like, "Hey, watch what you say."
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, traitors in our midst, and we got to be real. We got to be real. We got to stop. We got to take off the gloves. Stop treating these suckers with respect.
A couple of thoughts on that. I'm glad they were open enough to have a forum about it so everybody can come and talk. The issue is our people need to learn how to keep a forum, and just like you said, how to not have respect for people that are coming and sowing discourse and not only causing a disruption of the mission, but also, I mean, really making kind of sullying everything and making it seem as if everybody that's a part of this mission isn't sane mind and body, because they come and they make everybody look crazy.
Yeah. Well, I had, man, it's 2022, and then why the stream was so jacked up like it was like 1990.
Bro, it was bad. But the news, I was on ABC 7 and CBS 2, and they had HD video. I wish I can get a copy of that. They had little clips, obviously they had like a little clip of mine, like some benign parts. They didn't have the rough and rugged parts, because
they made sure he had good PR.
But you know what? Like the next time he should consider bringing his iPhone, just put it on the tripod and record his damn self and put on 6 zeros.
I was gonna do that, but I was just running. I had a lot of things going on. I didn't really have time to sit there and really record it and stay there. So
you're too good for that. I understand, bro. It's fun.
No, I had things to do, man. I had, I have a little mobile app.
I'm a business owner. I own a whole platform. Who would me look like I'm just
I gotta work on my startup.
So, any parting thoughts on the California Reparations Task Force?
Yeah, for me, I'm really curious about the report next summer and what real tangibles they're going to ask for. Yeah, because of course, we read the report on our stream when it first came out, and for what we read, it is looking like they're leaning toward the direction of programs and not money. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen next summer.
Just like you said, with the whole thing with programs and not money, I really do think that they should be focusing on money in hand. All these programs are going to be ran by white folk. They're going to be used to corral black folk. We need to get move away from that. I'm curious to see how much they are going to, how much they're going to allow, as what they're going to do as far as the reparations, and how much they're going to try to kind of reel it in. So I'm hoping that black folk are able to kind of keep them on task as far as having tangibles and not just these programs that they're going to be running anyway.
Right.
Well, there's only one way that we can really keep them on task, and I'm gonna leave it to y'all imagination. But
we already know. Yeah, we already know.
This is but the disrespect gotta go. We gotta start reeling in this disrespect. And that we're seeing. I'm tired of it. As a black man, I'm tired of it, and other black men need to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of this damn rodeo. We got to do something about it. I'm tired of the rodeo. But with that said, let's have a slice of pie. All right, so for our next topic, we got some good news, okay? So one of the Sixers, if you're not familiar with a Sixer, it's a member of 6 Zero. So one Sixer has started to put his money where his mouth is. He's like, I want my own town. I'm going to start building it. So this brother went and acquired some land out in the middle. It's literally like in the middle of nowhere. Like I was video chatting with this dude. He did a 360. I'm like, dang, there's like no well. There's nothing around him. It's just like mountains and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, I really respected it. It was a trailer on land. So when someone actually has conviction and they actually start doing it, I give them props. You know what I'm saying? And the other day, yesterday, or it was earlier today, all the days are blurring together. He said, man, we got a house on the land. And so I'm like, man, we got to bring this brother up on the joint on the lunch break to talk to him. So I'm introducing brother Pro-Moat Black. What's up, Pro-Moat Black?
Hey, what's up,
How y'all
brother?
doing, fellas?
Good.
Doing good.
Yo. So what happened? So I know he mentioned there wasn't a well. So how do you handle the water situation where you at?
Mm-hmm.
So where I'm at right now, I have access to a well. There's a guy, maybe like 15 miles down the road that has like 400. That's been there for like 100 years. So that's what we access right now. And it's just an honor to be on here with you fellas, man. I've watched you, Keith and Black Ice on your channel, Black Narrative, to see you guys link up with my brother Jay, and just love what y'all doing on the lunch break, and appreciate the respect, man. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. It's a great example.
Yeah, it's a great example. Sorry, Keith. I'm just surprised at the quality you get out in the middle of the boondocks over there.
Hey, man, I'm out here with my Wi-Fi. I got my signal booster going. Like I said, we finally got that house put down. I got a guy who I'm trying to do some powernomic stuff, man. I got a guy who works for me down in New Mexico and comes up and does some work on the house. And I've been kind of learning how to do some of the things on my own. That's kind of what's been taking a while, getting ready for winter. So we serious about it out here, man. And hell, we so serious about it. I like how you said the 360. I don't know if y'all could see it, but we out here, man.
Wow.
Man. That's crazy. I love it.
That is beautiful.
Dead ass, man. Serious about it. Like you said, black men, we tired of taking the crap, man. We gonna make something happen.
Thanks.
So like all these dudes, all these babblers talk about they want Tulsa and all this. This brother's actually out here doing it. Now, I really want to get you a lineup though, brother. But Jason Black will love you. He'd be like, man, this brother's out here doing the work. But I gotta get a barber out there, edge that beard up, bro.
Yeah, but why?
Hey, man, I'm out here self-sufficient, man. I'm out here doing it on my own, so even that a little bit. But it's all good, man.
I'm about to say, like he in the middle of nowhere, he had a better video than at the Reparations Task Force in the city. Explain that. Cali just taking L's, boy, man.
And I know y'all subscribe to the Hebrew Israelite thing, man. I'm kind of on that tip as well, and I love when the B1 community says, if your religion isn't benefiting you, what is it really for? So I tell people, man, the higher power I serve told me when I wasn't going to have another kid until I had my house. And I'll be honest, man, like other people, I'm talking back to God like, hey, man, that ain't really, I'm working toward that, but that may be a little ways off. But sure enough, man, looked up on some 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, man, that we got put on the land today. So, I mean, if you really going to work toward it, things are going to manifest themselves. You just got to be ready for it, man, and be willing to act.
See, the thing is, what you're doing, and I think this is important because, like, the religious aspect of it is important because sometimes it gives you either a compass or it gives you faith, that you're going to see things through. But what you're doing is action. And like in religion, I'm not religious, but like I believe faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's probably the only scripture I know, if that's even a scripture. But faith without works is dead.
It is.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that sit around and pray and hope, and you're doing, and that's what I really respect about you. Right. When you came onto the site, you came onto 6 Zeros because you're like, I want to promote black businesses. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a black business database. So you and I worked together. You gave me like 45 businesses that we loaded up on there, and then you out here building. You're starting a town, like, man. So that's respect. So this is the kind of stuff we gotta highlight. We over here making the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on Twitter. We need to be highlighting brothers like you that are getting to work, and I love seeing this. And I'm gonna ask you, what's your biggest challenges so far in starting this new frontier?
Biggest challenges I think for anyone. That's why I'm on the reparations kick, man. I need more funding. We all need more funding. We all need more capital. I can get a lot of things done a lot quicker with that. So, I mean, hey, I got an active income. I'm turning into passive income. I'm trying to build my dividends up, build my stock portfolio. I got some side hustles coming. I got the YouTube channel I'm working on. So I got a lot of things in the works, but that's really the main thing. You know what I'm saying? I got my family and I got people out here helping me to an extent. So that, that's been the biggest thing. And I also got to say too, I like what you mentioned about putting it to action, man. I'm a big book reader, and one book that I read that really changed my life, and you may have heard me say this on 6 Zeros and even on Twitter sometime, man. Powernomics, man. We got to apply the solutions, man. There's no point in just sitting around talking about it when the solutions have been out here for 20, 30 years, man. You just got to get abreast to the knowledge and then put it to work. So, I mean...
This is really exciting to see because of late, there's been so much just problems. People have been talking so much about problems, and the thing about it is, where are the solutions? And you are going out, you're getting solutions done. You're actually
No excuses.
no excuses. I was actually having a conversation with a brother the other day, and he was telling me one thing that the Black community lacks is builders. We don't have enough people going out and building for our own. And you took the initiative. You didn't beg, you didn't do any of that. You went and you started building.
And
Hey,
man,
Pro-Moat,
just
can you
tired
hear
of the
More
riffraff.
examples of that.
Pro-Moat, can you turn your camera sideways real quick? Your phone?
Okay.
Let's see if
Oh,
it corrects itself. No, it doesn't. All right, you can turn it
My
back.
fault, bro.
It's all good.
But as far as just building it, man, and putting it to work, like you said, I know you said last week, you know, somebody can just get a trailer home. You don't have to take a loan from a bank. You know, you just got to figure out a way to make it happen. And the first thing we got to do to break out of these shackles, man, you got to own where you live, man. If you paying these people rent, you paying these people water, you paying these people electricity, and they got solar panels and stuff out here, man. You giving your money to that system. And I get it. We like our amenities, and that's something I've been telling my wife and even my family back home. I'm working on the amenities, but we literally at a point in history where we had a technology to do it. It's not as hard to really just get out here and start some stuff. Speaking of which, while I need more funding, there's a cat I'm gonna shout out. It's called Torpedo Pot. This is a Black American brother who in a self-growing planter, to where you don't even have to be a professional or have a green thumb, so to speak, but you can feed your family. All you have to do is have a water hookup. So that's something else I'm working on right now, man, getting those out here.
You know, see, the thing is, what you're doing is sacrificing, and a lot of people don't want to sacrifice. And it's an American thing, but
yeah,
we're talking about the Black community and specifically, you know, people got to be willing to sacrifice in order to get the goal. We like instant gratification a lot of the times, and so you're building your plan is delayed gratification, because right now, you know, you don't have all the creature comforts that you want. Like where I live, I got a yoga class every Wednesday, but I don't own nothing here. You're building it out, man, and so
Jay does yoga.
A brother like you is like, once I'm not as resource constrained as I am, I want to link with you and help you build it, man. Like,
exactly.
We gonna get that legal paperwork together, but I'm gonna help you build that joint out, man. It's really exciting. I love to see a brother out there hustling. I know I made a joke about your beard. I know I joke all the time. We all joke. Everybody call me Ashy. So I hope you didn't take offense to it. Like, man, I really respect
man, you good,
everything
man.
you're doing, brother.
That is phenomenal. And that's the thing.
Y'all shout me out, man. Very humble. Like I said, that you guys make the sacrifice worth it, man. I had a lot of people who kind of doubted, and even back home before I was all of this, man, it was hard to get a lot of cats on code. So, you know, like you said, you got to put money where your mouth is. And like I said, applying that powernomics, I think I've gained more respect from people back home who are not as on code now that I have something to show for it than even I was back in the day when it's just an idea, it's just an abstract. So, you know, I appreciate you guys, you know, helping make it worth it. Hey, I got my water tanks out here, man. I got my solar panels. I got a wind generator. So I'm out here with the Wi-Fi, with the TV, with the PlayStation. I mean, I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting some business stuff going too. We ain't just out in the boonies, but I got that privacy, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna work on building it out, man. And I just appreciate you even saying that, because we could use the help, but you know, like I tell people when we talk about reparations, what are you gonna do with the money? You gotta already be working on what you want to make happen when that paper drops. So, you know, get to it early.
Right.
So when it drops, you already know what to do.
Hey, Bob.
That's something I actually want to say. You know, when we see something like what Pro is doing, we got to come together and support them. You know, because you have so many brothers and sisters out here that will complain about, oh, Black folk don't have this, we don't have that. And yet when somebody has anything and they need support, all of a sudden our hands are thrown up. So definitely in the future, more support needs to be going to Pro and others like him that have these projects, building out things for the Black community, because it's a selfless thing. Right. And we need to support those that are selfless within the community. There's not enough of that.
Man, I appreciate and respect you saying that, because even with 6 zeros, dude, it's with the beta and everything, people want everything to be hey man, we got to work through trial and error, man. Whatever happened to trial and error? Let's not rush ourselves here. Rome wasn't built in a day, but we built greater things than Rome. So hey, let's be patient with ourselves.
Yeah, like Twitter still ain't got spaces on the iPad or desktop, and people don't be saying nothing about that. They'll just get their iPhone, they'll buy a brand new iPhone to be on them spaces, but they come on a black person's platform and they're like, well, you don't have it, and just bounce.
Right.
But it's all good. I'm not bitter. I know we got an uphill battle, but we're gonna be successful. Leadership is not for the weak, and changing the people's perspective. We got to move and show people, and that's what I'm doing. That's what you're doing. That's what we're all doing. We're showing. And I appreciate you, Pro-Moat Black. I appreciate you hopping on. We appreciate all your efforts. We appreciate you being a strong black man, holding your family down, and not just talking about it, man. You told your wife you were going to do this, and you're doing it. So much love, much. Like from the deepest ventricles in my heart as a black man, I respect the hell out of you, brother.
Hey, much same to you, my brother, man. Like I told you when I was on the video, man. I used to want to build video games and build websites, man, but I just didn't have that knack for that. So I found a lane, and I really appreciate and respect what you're doing, man. It's not nothing to be taken lightly that we can actually aggregate. And you said hold it down, my family. Shout out to the On Code sisters out there, man, because my girl, she just as radical, if not more radical than me, man. And she was really about that life. And now we about to move into this house with a new baby. So hey, man, be one community. We growing. We out here. We doing it. And even if you can't get everyone to follow, like you said, leadership is not for the weak. And eventually you'll get the sheep to follow by showing improvement. So I appreciate y'all, man. Much love and respect. Much love and respect.
Respect, brother.
All right, see ya, man. It's a pleasure.
See ya.
Yeah, that brother's awesome, man. I got
you had to get that dude's cash out, man.
Seriously,
something, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he ain't doing video games, man, because he was doing video games, he be having yoga class instead of building his house out there. You know what I mean? So that's awesome, bro. I like that.
Or he'll be doing UX in Atlanta. What loser want to live like that? We're gonna lighten it up a bit before we get into the main course, the medium well steak. I'm gonna bring on the cast from the Bird Life, Duke and George Carby. What's up, fellas?
What is up?
What's up? So what we got today in gaming news?
Well, we got a couple big news. I was going to talk about Skull and Bones getting delayed again, but we got a bigger news story. Google Stadia is shutting down next year.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those who don't know, Google Stadia is basically cloud gaming. Google's way to get into gaming without actually providing hardware. So they were trying to, but because the American internet system is not that great, it's a horrible experience to play video games.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh yeah, it's so bad and terrible that even games like, for example, the Switch and everything that Doom, the latest Doom game, which is like just how crazy you need to have all this PC stuff, and it was ported to the Switch, and that runs better than anything on the Stadia, which supposedly was going to be this big huge thing. Graphically everything's going to be the same, but nope, it stuttered. It was completely just broken, and it's still, and no one really respected it. In fact, I don't know anybody in my circle or out of the circle actually bought Stadia.
I was actually going to try it, but I mean, they're going out of business. So
Stadia was really
business model. The business model was okay. Go ahead, Black Ice.
Yeah, I would say Stadia was like 3 years ahead of his time. Like you said, the bandwidth didn't catch up yet because now you have Xbox, the Game Passes and everything else that's running well now. I think they didn't get up too soon.
I don't think it was ahead of his time. The business model was flawed. If you're gonna have a service where there's no ownership, you got to have it. You got to go the Netflix route. You can't charge me $60 for something I can't even hold.
Facts.
It would have been Stadia would have popped if they had if it was a Game Pass type service. You pay monthly and you got access to all these.
Well,
games
no, I'll take that back. Like, you got a lot of people that buy games online from the eShops and stuff for $60 and not have a physical copy.
Well, you could download it on your computer.
Yeah, you can download it and you can play it at any time. So if you didn't have internet, you can't play Google Stadia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and not only that, the majority of its games were ports. It was just nothing but ports, nothing original, and the ones that were original didn't really bring, for example, there's no God of War like for Sony, or no Halo, or no Mario, or no anything there that is like, okay, what sets you apart? Nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing that sets you apart, and that was the main issue with Google Stadia, is that this just, in fact, you can look at the same thing was happening with like these other businesses, like for example, Facebook gaming. That hasn't gone so well because they had this huge, big, couple games they produced, and it's not looking too good for them as well. It's just like these, social media people that, we know how to stream the games. That means we can make them. No, you can't.
Right.
And now it's just the same issue here, is that they thought they can just, we could just do this because we're Google and everything. The stuff like, for example, Google Glass and all the other stuff that, they were saying, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. And then years later, it failed because they cut corners. They didn't really connect with the customer base and all that stuff. And with this, no one actually, people are like, oh my goodness, what are the games? Oh, just ports. Well, I can just play this on my PC without Stadia. I can play this on my Xbox One or PS4 or Switch without being online.
I think CIA operation known as Google, they be coming with these betas and stuff. I bet they were data mining. They probably came out with Stadia to get some data that they needed, and then they just like gonna shut it down. That was probably these betas they drop. They got so much money. I'm like, a lot of these little applications they drop. I'm like, there's something. There's a real business model there that we don't know. It's like Android. When they came out with Android, they were releasing it for free. But
we do know Google's business model is to give them data.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, Android is not free. Like they say, if it's free, you're the product.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What you gonna say, George?
No, I was gonna say, and also they didn't own like Jay said. I mean, like Duke said, there was no like exclusive platform. Like you would literally have to pay a third party in order to get games that you can get on any other system that can plays better. It was an inferior version of a PlayStation or an Xbox or a PC. So it was like, why the hell would I pay this much money for something that I can't own? I can't physically think. If my internet's down, I can't play the game. It's like it was just doomed from the start.
Right. There's no value there.
It's so limited.
Oh, and even better, you had like GeForce Now, who was the NVIDIA cloud service, was actually available in the beta form around 2013, and it was released finally for the public was in 2020, February 4th, and it blew Stadia away. It blew Stadia away with all the games and everything that was right there with what it was basically a faster and more
a more efficient one, because you can basically play your own games that you own on Steam with NVIDIA GeForce Now. You didn't have to rebuy games. You can just go to your Steam library and just play it like that.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So Stadia shut down. That's a bummer. What else we got? Anything else?
Like I said, Skull and Bones was delayed again, and it was this game that was it was going to be one of the big things Ubisoft was going to back in 2017. But here's the interesting story behind this. The reason why it's being pushed and doing all this, Ubisoft is not giving up on this game, it's due to an existing government subsidy agreement from I believe for Singapore. They are basically Singapore government is actually had a according to this article I'm reading right now, the existing government subsidy agreement. Skull and Bones is being developed primarily by Ubisoft Singapore, and Ubisoft has a subsidy agreement in place with the Singapore government for the purposes of the project. To hold up its end of the agreement, the publisher has to release it by a certain deadline.
You're putting Black Ice to sleep. I see his eyes.
But basically,
actually, European games do that. They have governance subsidies to help them, because they want business in their things. So a lot of this game called Blade and Sword, I think, is made by like the Polish government, and the Polish government gives them money in order to make games in their country and stuff like that. So that's how they incentivize.
Well, it's smart because you can keep that industry going. You know, you're funding the industry. It's like how the United States put all that money into car manufacturer, or how it gives money to everybody. Oh, $1 billion Smile is back. I hope he got that $1 billion reading course going.
Oh no!
I'm glad he came back. He's not salty. He stays seasoned, never salty. Yeah, so it's invested in your industries, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering that since it's getting delayed again, which supposedly gonna be next year in March. I just wonder: are they going to? The government going to move that date? Is that the final move? Are they going to have to? Ubisoft going to have to pay the Singapore government or something because they just can't find a reason to release this game.
Well, they made it for Stadia. That's the problem.
I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, it's been so long. It's like okay, they were going to to delay it. Then it had to get rebooted and said it was going to come out this year in November. And then now they have to. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Any parting thoughts? We got to move on to
check out the game night tomorrow. Tomorrow at
you don't even know when it is.
Tomorrow at 8 p.m. That's what I was going to say. Tomorrow at 8 p.m.
I don't know.
5 p.m. Make sure you come onto the board. We're going to be playing Fortnite, me, Duke, and hopefully Jay. You know, if he got some good internet and stuff like that.
If he's not busy doing yoga, so he's cleared out, then he can start playing like Fortnite with us.
Yeah.
Damn, so I'm getting the Blur Life guys getting me now. Thank you, fellas. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Have a nice day. Thanks. Peace.
See you later. Oh, I dropped Ikisa Black Eye. See you, Duke. All right. So for the best course of the episode, the main course. And before we get the main course, $1 billion Smile said, "Nigga, I will flame your ass." Pause.
Jay, you've been getting it on all sides.
Jay already get flamed.
Man, you're gonna end up more well done than the state.
I started. The thing is, I started, so I accept that. I made fun of a dude's lineup that's in the middle of nowhere. But today's main course is Black empowerment is turning into a big old reality show. Okay, there's so much drama going on, and the whole Black empowerment aspect of it has kind of been taking a back seat, and it's unfortunate to see. It's a lot of personalities getting involved, and people are getting distracted, and I kind of feel like a lot of people are taking their celeb worship and moving it into the Black empowerment space, and they're picking sides and stuff. So some of the things that we've seen in this whole space, we'll start with Black Americans versus Black immigrants. This is one of the biggest reality TV show fights we've been seeing going on. And Akis, as since you're non-FBA, and I don't even know why we have you on the broadcast since you're not FBA.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how I slid in.
You shouldn't even have you on here. What are your thoughts on the Black American versus Black immigrant? And I'm gonna frame it up though. The Black American versus Black immigrant is there's idiots in it that are making it really ethnic warring, but the crux of it is we are calling out the traitors on the immigrant side of the house, and for so long, a lot of Black Americans feel like we've been giving them passes. We've been using this Pan-Africanism to try to unify with people that really don't want to unify with us. So the underlying thing there is, hey, we calling these groups out, but some of it is turned into tribalism. So what are your thoughts, fellas?
Well, I've been noticing as of late that there's actually a term for what's going on within the Black space, and that is called the diaspora wars. And I really didn't figure that out until I heard about the whole event that was going on in England with the Caribbeans versus the Africans. And just like I said before, there are a lot of traders amongst the diaspora. But one thing that I really didn't know until I started doing some research for the episode for Queen Elizabeth was the fact that there were various groups, Pan-African groups, that sprouted up across the diaspora. But the coons within all these different countries, including the US, went against those that were trying to get independence, get separation, get all these different things so that we all had a certain base. So I think that a big part of it is a misunderstanding when it comes to the history of these different places, because these different places always send their coons to come to America. The ones that are really ride or die are usually going to be in these different places. And you're going to have a lot of different cultural disconnects, you know, the music, the language, the distance overall. And what happened to Jay?
I'm here.
Okay.
You were looking at my face that much, dang, bro.
No, man, don't do that to me. But you have, it's a very nuanced thing. And I feel like this is a whole entire, it's a case study, truly. But what I do want to say, as far as people that are so gung-ho against other, basically anybody that's non-FBA, is you've got to consider the fact that the ride or dies are going to be international. So anti-blackness takes many different forms, and this is just another form of tribalism where we're able to be divided and conquered, just like has been happening multiple times during history. So if it's one of those things where you can't rock with somebody because of their national background, then when the time does come where the riders from all these different places do start clicking up together, just make sure that you're still securing the tribe. When all the riders from all over the world start coming together and working, make sure that you are here securing the tribe. That's where I stand on it.
Well, the thing is, the thing is, when you have when you basically paint everybody with this broad brush, you're gonna alienate. Like if you say Africans are coons, then you're alienating Julius Malema. Right. So that's a real rider, you know what I'm saying? So it's I think that the rhetoric is like the foundation of it makes sense. Right. But the way the village idiots are talking about it, they're making it very xenophobic, very ethnic warring, and it's basically, we know that Africa has tribalism. A lot of our dysfunction is because of Africa. If we're gonna keep it a buck, a lot of places in Africa or African mind state is a different tribe is it could basically be someone from Mars. If they're another tribe, they could be Martians for all you care. There's no commonality between you two. And so a lot of people from the continent, they'll go all over the world and bring that stupid mentality with them. And a lot of us see ourselves as black, and they'll come and bring that dysfunction, and it causes fights between us, you know? So we have to be able to have a conversation about that, and have a conversation about all these different groups, how they don't have a concept of blackness. We have to have that conversation, but have it in a loving way.
Exactly.
But the coons, they got to be stomped out at the end of the day. Coons got to go. I don't care what flag you got to go. I don't care if you're Larry Elder or Larry Chukwumurji.
Right.
You got to go.
I'm glad you said that too, because it's someone's emphasis on the foreign, coons, and not the one domestically right here. And to me, the ones domestically are a greater threat because that's right there within our community, And I'm beginning to wonder, are we losing sight of the real enemy? Because most of these people who talking all this foolishness online are followers. Yeah. So who are they getting this rhetoric from? From some of the leaders. Hey, you know what I mean? So I'm looking at that, and then my thing is too. One young lady on Twitter pointed out how she's like, I noticed these people getting like some of the same views of white nationalists, and so they went in on her. Yeah. And then like shortly after that, I ain't gonna lie, Tariq put up an article about these Somalians they were scamming up in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it's like, yo, I mean, rightfully they should be out of here, for what they did, because they took like $240 million to put me towards for like kids nutrition. I get that,
right?
But so of course everybody, everybody they were commenting under his article was like, oh yeah, call ICE, blah 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 blah. All right, but the article came from Brianhart, which is a known conservative site. So I went there and I looked at the comments over there. Sounds exactly the same, right? Yeah. And so I was here thinking too, and like to Keith's point, the writers stay home, it's the coons that come over, right? We also understand too that America is a capitalist, it's an imperialist nation, right? They everywhere. And so, of course, and we covered this over a year ago on our broadcast, like, yo, they're trying to replace us because they need cheaper labor to survive, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So what they do is, what America does, they send out, that's how America stays in power. They destabilize other nations around them, and then so it gets so bad that the natives want to come here to the land of the enemy.
And then they make sure that the natives that they get, for instance, in Sudan, what they will do is they have a lottery where if you win this lottery, you end up getting a visa to the US. But they make sure that they indoctrinate you, make sure that you don't identify with Black Americans. And so they make sure that they're not going to get anybody that's a writer over on that ship.
And America causing the disruption over there, the discourse over there.
Exactly.
But the thing is America made the mistake of not vetting, and that's how they got Stokely Carmichael. They got it bit them in the rear end. They had Stokely Carmichael. How am I forgetting his name?
Marcus Garvey.
Sorry, man. Marcus Garvey. They let these guys in the country. They started working with us, and so they're like, they learn from that. You hear that? White supremacy learns. And they're not letting that happen again. So they're vetting all these folks and making sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the problem I'm having now. So it's like, people saying, oh, we don't, why we fighting white supremacy? We're not inferior to white supremacy. Like, yo, this is a system that's going on here, right? So like, when you try to divert and try to play with all on the look at immigrants coming in, that's not the source of the problem. The system of white supremacy is the problem because they didn't want to disrupting their nations and send them over here to replace us. And so to me, it would make more sense go after you cut off the head of the snake.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing too. You cannot talk about anti-blackness while being anti-black.
But is it anti-black? So it's like, okay, so there's Darth Vader and there's a bunch of stormtroopers, okay? Yeah. So you're saying ignore the stormtroopers and go after Darth Vader, but the stormtroopers are the one that's coming after me. We got this stormtroopers and Darth Vader got to get the smoke. You know what I'm saying? We got to call.
Yeah, but here's the problem with the strategy though. I've been seeing multiple people on Twitter like, yeah, I call ICE on them. Okay, but if we know that the government is actively letting them in, what ICE is going to do?
And that's the thing too. And that's the thing too. As far as anti-blackness, there are a lot of people that do not have the nuanced look on this. And so they don't look at it like, okay, well, there's coons coming from other places. No, they look at it as the black folk from other places are the issue.
Yeah.
And so that is a form of anti-blackness.
Right. They don't understand the nuance of it all. Like these people come over here because stupid. Yeah, they come over here because Americans ruin their country, so they come over here to survive.
Right.
I can't knock them for that.
But here's the thing: you can't. If your country got destroyed, you can't go to another country and try to destabilize. Okay, so white supremacy smashed you in your homeland. Now you'll come over here and work with them to smash out other Black Americans.
I know it's jacked up how it works, but unfortunately, they have been operating for decades.
I know, but if you one of those people that flee your land and then you come over here and you want to work with the oppressor to oppress other people, you are despicable and you are.
And to your point, and that's very true what you're saying. But at the same time, and a lot of people been calling that out, which is very true.
Right.
But
it needs to be called out.
Well, we think the same damn way over here, though. How many of our own people to celebrate 4th of July or taking pride what American does? Or I was like, okay, let's kick out the immigrants. Well, why we at it? Because you saying we are from here. You saying this is our land. You say you built it, right? Okay. That only kick them out. You kick the white folks out too. No. They citizens though. Are they? You didn't say you from here.
Right.
Last time I checked, they colonized this place. So why is it okay for white people to stay here and not them?
But I don't
that's
think
really the issue.
that's not that's a tangent. Like I did, if United States is an entity now, so as an entity, there's people that are natives to the entity, and there's people that's not natives to the entity, and so
White people not native.
They're native to the entity, not to the land.
They never say entity. They always say, "Oh, we are to this land. We are Native Americans to the land." They never say entity.
Well, I'm not going to defend. I'm not going to defend the feather gang. Okay, I can't defend the feather gang. But at the end of the day, if you come from a country that was destabilized and then you work with that destabilizing entity to destabilize other people, you are gum on the bottom of your shoe. You deserve whatever you get. At the end of the day, if you get abused and you, instead of fighting the abuser, you work with the abuser, you're a clown.
Mm-hmm. So people love America the same thing. They fall in love with their own oppressor. Well, to me, that's the same way. That's the same thing of depending on the voting system to treat you right. To me, that's exactly the same thing. You're hoping your oppressor will treat you, will love you.
Well, that's like you.
Go ahead, Akis.
So as far as what Jay's saying, that is very true. As far as a lot of the people that come over here and work with the enemy, you know, they're despicable.
Right.
Another thing that has to be considered is they're cowards. They make sure that the cowards, the yellow bellies, the coons of their nations, the ones who are turning against their own neighbors,
I agree,
and don't have the morals, are the ones that come over here and poison the well.
Yeah, I agree.
And to your point, as far as the whole thing with
to what you're saying is true. Right. I mean, they do bring the traders over here.
But you conflated two different issues, Black Eyes.
Well, I'll say to your point, as far as the whole thing with a lot of the people who were secure the tribe, talking about calling ICE on Black immigrants and saying how one of the incentives is to kick out certain Black immigrants. The issue is the same argument was used as far as why white Americans can't be kicked out because they're citizens, but there's a lot of Black immigrants that are citizens as well. So how are you going to be able to kick out the Black immigrants that are the citizens, and why are they the focus instead of?
But you're right to my point. My point is these leaders are shifting all the smoke away from white supremacists at the end of the day. To me, it's all the facade. Remember, like a couple years ago, like, all right, we know this is a system. We need to take down the system of white supremacy. Now it's like, oh, it's not. It's the immigrants. They all right, we can handle that, but nobody really speaking against the system anymore. They try to redirect all that smoke to the immigrants. And yes, it's a problem. I agree, because we used just that.
Right.
We said that over a year ago that was going to be a problem.
Right.
But the core of the problem is who's setting up the situation for them wanting to come over here.
Right.
The ones you want to be buddy with.
I think I don't agree with that. I feel like maybe some people are doing that, but I think that you got to be able to clean your ranks before you're able to really hit the power structure. You got to make it clear who's for the cause and who's not for the cause. And I think that this movement, what it's done is it's made it clear. It's established an agenda, and it said the agenda is Black empowerment. And just because people are Black doesn't mean they're Black empowerment for Black empowerment.
I get that.
And
part.
But what I don't like about it is that it diverted the conversation from those that are coons and those that are not coons. Like, for me, like, people come to 6 Zeros and say, finally, there's a space for Black Americans. I'm like, no, there's a space for people that are not coons. Right. I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're from Burkina Faso. If you're not a coon and you're about Black empowerment, you belong here, right? So when the conversation shifts from when it becomes tribalism as opposed to people that are uncode and people that are off code, that's when I have a problem, because all it's doing is perpetuating the issue that Africa has had for millennia, where we don't work together because we see each other all as different. And with that, we got to move on, though. We got to move on with the reality show.
Like I said, it all leads right into it, because it's because of that why we into this mess we have right now. Because to your point, Jay, there's nothing wrong cleaning ranks, but the problem is within these ranks is the people looking up to the leader who's unclean, who causing all the confusion. You know what I'm saying? And you got different leaders saying different things, and now you see what's going on Twitter right now. This has been the whole crap show.
That's a good segue to the term with this. Like one of the terms that it probably came about like 3 months ago was the big three. Okay. Mm-hmm. This term, the big three. And what the big three represents is Tariq Nasheed, Professor Black Truth, and Jason Black. Mm-hmm. And so what we hear a lot is that the code is the leader, right? And that's true. The code is the leader. But in my opinion, when you create this term big three, you're creating a hierarchy. And when you create a hierarchy, you're naturally saying this is the head, these are the big dogs, and everybody else falls under here. So when you create that delineation, you're putting yourself in a de facto leadership position. So what we've seen in the Black empowerment space over the last couple of days is people wanting the big three to put them on. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think that it's necessarily something wrong to ask if you put yourself in that position. If you say I'm the top dog and people accept that you're the top dog and you're telling these people what to buy, what to think, where they need to be, you can't then sit and say, oh, I'm not your leader. When Secure the Tribe is hitting the big three up and saying, I want you to support us, it's because you said I'm the big three. So naturally they are going to ask you to put them on. For 3 minutes of Black empowerment, he was in the same thing. He's like, he came to the big three like, hey man, help me promote my flyers. And he didn't get the response he wanted. And so now he's dejected. Secure the Tribe was dejected. 3 minutes of Black empowerment is dejected. And it's because they look to them as the leaders, and a lot of them some of them conduct themselves as leaders. And so you got to accept that role.
That's part of the problem. The other problem is that it made me, after seeing all that, it also made me question, why are you doing it in the first place? Because if it's something I'm real passionate about and something I believe in, I can care less about co-sign for anybody else if they get to me or not. I'll still be doing it. So my thing is, okay, are you giving up because they didn't acknowledge you? They're not questioning, do you really have good intentions from the get-go?
Right. That's facts. That's 100% facts. If you're doing it for clout, then you're not doing it. Your motivations are flawed.
And that's the thing. There's so much disingenuous motives on all sides. Because if you're in a space and you have a movement, then why is it we always have to seek a cosign? Why is it more people can't be like pro and just do it?
Or just step up? Because
just do the work.
I understand, because I know Tariq was saying earlier today, he's been doing this for 2 decades. 2 decades ago, camera equipment was hella expensive. It's hard to broadcast, put yourself out there, microphones, all type of stuff. But these days, literally, you can just go live with your own damn cell phone, right? Mm-hmm. So why are you waiting on here for somebody else when you get to simply do it yourself? I didn't care less.
I think it's because they really look to these people like that big three moniker. They, in everybody's mind, they're like, this is the way to get on. Yeah. And they look at the big three as the conduit to the rest of the world. So when the big three is not promoting them, they feel like they're not being supported by the conduit to the rest of the world. It's almost like you could look at the big three almost like, I feel like some people look at the big three like a record label. This might not be all. I'm making this metaphor off the top of my head. So they look at them like that's a record label, and they're like, I want to get signed. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. They're gatekeepers. Yeah, and when you made that big three moniker, you made yourself the gatekeeper. Yeah, you should have never made that moniker. I look at it as there's people that have more influence than others. One thing we could no one could ever say that Tariq does not have influence. Tariq is influential. So there's people that have more influence and people that don't. And it is what it is. But when you say, hey, we're the big dogs, that's a different thing than saying I have more influence than you.
You know, the real sad part about this is to show you how much we haven't learned over the decades, bro. We fall for the same thing over and over again, because the same thing happened in the civil rights movement, and even before that, we're doing the exact same thing. Right. We're not practicing critical thinking. We're not doing stuff for the right reasons, and and it's sad to see that.
Right.
What $1 Billion Smile says, just buy an ad space. That's exactly what we did. Like,
right.
The
we did too.
It's like it's like just buy ad space. Like I'm not like don't go to these people for handouts. And one thing that Secure the Tribe, like I was on one of their spaces. I was able to survive like 30 minutes, I think. I was like, this is too ghetto. But they said they were upset because Tariq didn't promote him, and Yaya said, I've supported the museum and I've supported all his projects and stuff like that, but he didn't support me. I understand that. But then Tariq said, no one told me that the pull up was happening. And right there, I was like, the win is right out of yourselves. If you didn't tell him that it was happening, then what do you expect? You expect this dude to be sitting on your Twitter spaces seeing everything that's going on, and then he's just going to promote it on his own? This man is a millionaire traveling across the world. He has his own agenda, his own things going on. So I think some of it, when I heard that, I'm like, yo, this is just some clown.
But you know what? But I ain't gonna lie though. Even though that was a big mistake to not let them know if it is true. I mean, three sides to a story.
Yeah.
But even if they did, Tariq would have showed up to that.
It's not even showing up, he's broadcasting it. You could just say, hey, there's a pull up going on.
Yeah.
You know, I understand them wanting him to be a signal booster. I get that, and I understand how they felt like they were let down. But if you didn't reach out to that man to let him know, hey, can you signal boost this? Then I feel like that's an L on your part. You should be managing your business and making those connections to get the message out. So when Tariq said that and said they didn't reach out and then they didn't correct it, he said that with them in that space. Said, y'all didn't reach out to me to let me know this is happening. And no one said anything to the contrary. So I'm like, that's y'all bad. How can you be mad at this man for not reading your mind about what y'all got going on? No one really cares about what everyone's really doing like that.
Right.
If we being real, like people think Twitter is real. They think it's real life. It's not real life. People got their own bills. He might have to get his Bentley service. He got a newborn.
Right.
This man got a newborn. He's not worried about your dang pull-up. I'm sorry. And if it's really that important, get some ad space, man. I told 3 Minutes of Black Empowerment that. I said, yo, get some ad space.
Yo, I saw him too, man. It's like there's way too many men being way too emotional, and that was scary. Like, yo, like y'all breaking down because they didn't acknowledge you.
Like, come on.
Like, yo, you got your flyers. Put your flyers out.
It's like so terrible. Look, there's a couple of things that I want to touch on when it comes to basically the infantility of certain people.
Yeah.
Because first off, if you have your own platform and you have your own movement, why are you looking for this esoteric daddy
platform
to come and say, oh, it's okay, my son, I will broadcast for you? Yo, get on your own 2 feet as a man or a woman and figure it out. That's
Acknowledge
it.
you, senpai.
You know, right. Acknowledge me, senpai. Literally, it's that mindset. Be
niggas want an easy button.
Right. And another thing, too, and you brought up a good point when it came to the big three. You know, you cannot put a moniker on yourself and then come out with certain inflammatory kind of campaigns and then say, I'm not a leader, I take no responsibility for this.
Yep.
That's not how any of that works. And so on all sides, people have to be cognizant of the fact that you ain't in Pampers no more. Let's grow up.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like, I think there is culpability on both sides, but it's like we just gotta. If you feel, if you're a person of conviction, then it doesn't matter. Like for me, my big three is air, water, and gluten-free Oreos. Okay, that's my big three. Now, Jason, like for instance, Jason Black, man, I'll ride out for that dude. That dude has done more for 6 zeros than I've done for Jason. Period. Point blank. Right? When Jason talks, I shut up and listen and take notes for real. But Jason is not my big three. My big three is air, water, and gluten-free Oreos.
Right.
I got something to learn from all these dudes. But these dudes, I don't see them as my big three. And a lot of people need to take that mentality. Why are you hitting up all these dudes and letting your motivation or your agenda reside on if they support it or not? I don't care if any of these people support 6 zeros. There's so many black people out here, man. Why are you just letting it rest on these three? That's why that, like you said, Keith, that Big Three moniker, I think it falls into celeb worship.
Yeah.
It's like people like their reality TV. Now they can get their reality TV and they support celeb worship with a Nelly Fuller quote thrown in every now and then.
But it's funny. We just said that last night though on the space. We just said that last night on the space. Man, like y'all like discourse. Like be honest about it. And Marcel was honest about it. He's like, yo, I like to debate. Like, like at least he was honest about it. But I know as many others do too because they're all into the spaces.
But there's difference between debate and drama. Some people just want the drama, and when this drama's kicking off, it's like they're watching reality TV. They're in these spaces here, Secure the Tribe, Debate Tariq, and all this. They like that drama, but they get the drama with a Nelly Fuller quote thrown in every day, so they can be like, "I'm Black empowerment because race soldiers," but then it's drama and dysfunction.
Another thing that I've been noticing, and it seems like I've been having this conversation this month with multiple people, as far as there's a great awakening of consciousness occurring within the Black community. The issue is people are awakening at different levels. People are awakening because just like the show we did a couple of nights ago about education and just curating why we've been so dumbed down and why we don't have abstract thought and critical thinking. It's one of those things where people are waking up, but they wake up, they learn all this knowledge. You're like, okay, well, I'm learning this, I'm learning about our conditions, but they have not disconnected themselves from certain slave mentalities or certain mindsets where it's like, okay, well, yeah, I know this, that, and the third, but I need my drama. I need my version of Love and Hip Hop. I need my version of Oprah. I need my version of whatever thing used to sustain me when I was unconscious. I need to translate that to the conscious space. And just like you brought up the point with something as simple as food and what we eat, there's a lot more that goes into being conscious than being able to spout off books and quote history. There's a lot of that goes into that, and one thing is being able to have discourse and conversation.
And discipline. I like what you said. I like how you said it's like it's some people have taken their dysfunction they had in American culture and just migrated it over. So it's like, okay, instead of worshiping LeBron, I worship Tariq. And so now they worshiping Tariq, and when Tariq don't blast them out, now it's an outrage. It's like, yo, Tariq is just a human. All these people are just people. Like I made that clear. I said,
and they showing.
You said what?
Now everything's all caps. They're tweeting in all caps now.
Right. Even Tariq got his emotions a little bit today. They always just human beings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just people, and we gotta get out of that celeb worship. It's like our Tariq, Professor Black Truth, and Jason Black, are they pillars in the community? Absolutely. Are they the most influential in the community? Yes. Are they driving a lot of the culture? Yes. But these people are not your dang dad. These people, they're just people, and they're very influential. And like, for instance, like they all have their things. Like, for instance, Tariq is very humorous. He can deliver a message in a very humorous way, and it could connect. It could connect with people. Jason Black is very direct. He's humorous too, but he's very direct. I call him Black America's drill sergeant. And then Professor Black Truth is like, he just come right up the middle with the information, period. It's not funny, it's not entertaining, it's just straight up the middle. They have these that's just bam in your face. And so they all have their own thing, and we love them for it, but everybody in the Black empowerment community, just understand they're people with influence. Stop, like, and when you look at them, like here, like at the Big Three, and then you peg yourself to that, there's no way that you can ever surpass them. There might be someone out here that could surpass them, but if you look at them as the top of the movement, then you're going to you're putting a ceiling on yourself that don't really exist. So like we said on June, It's like take what they teach you and then use it to further whatever agenda. We all have a collective agenda,
Right.
but learn and move forward. Stop being up under these dudes under their armpits.
Right. That's what these white folk have done. That's why they've gotten ahead so much, is because, hey, look, when Christopher Columbus with his wicked self saw that the Italian king wasn't going to support it, he went to Spain.
Yup. Exactly.
But he still had that mission in mind.
That's facts. That's facts. It's like it's just uncompromising it and getting the mission done no matter what. And so, but what we see it is a lot of people, they really just want clout. And I kind of don't like how it's going back and forth. I feel like some of these people just don't need any more attention brought on them, like that ghetto ruffian ragtag group of Twitter space aficionados. Right. They don't need any more attention. Stop going back and forth with them. I feel like airing them out and doxing them and showing them twerking, all that is dysfunctional. It just not. Right. I don't think it does. It falls into the reality TV thing. People watch it and they're entertained and they're like, "Oh my God, look, she got aired out. Look at her twerking. I don't like her butt." It's like this is diverting the attention from everything it needs to be focused on. Like, if you don't like Yaya, cool, move on. If you don't like Secure the Tribe, cool, move on. We got more important stuff to worry about. And I feel like the back and forth, I don't like it. I feel like it's dysfunctional, and it becomes the Real Housewives to be one.
Right, and all the drama, the cartoons, you know, that like all these different things coming out, and man, we play into it like putty. Yeah, like, this has to stop. This has to stop. I
think between all the foolishness, we forgetting who the real enemy is. Like, honestly, because I really haven't seen the enemy being mentioned in the past few months because it's so much infighting amongst ourselves.
Right. The main thing that's being brought up is non-FBA hairlines. Right. Why is it I'm hearing more about non-FBA hairlines than white supremacy?
Because they're atrocious. Y'all need to get your hairline game together. Y'all be having the most bummiest hairlines. I'd be like, dang, bro, y'all need to. Man, it's true though. You could really tell if someone FBA or not, because if you're a Black American and you had a terrible hairline, you wasn't gonna make it through a day at grade school. You was gonna get clowned. If your mom didn't have money to get you a real good hairline, you was gonna figure out some way to get your hairline better.
You know, it's funny because we just talk about education on Tuesday night. That's part of the problem. We too focused on hairlines and educating ourselves.
You could be focused on both, man. You could be focused on hairlines,
but the majority, education. No. Most of these people out here can't walk and chew gum, bro. We saw it on the Twitter Spaces today.
Look, and that's what. Jay, I think you give too much benefit of the doubt.
Trust me, I don't. I don't.
He's doing it for the show.
I'm about to say, man, it's bad out here. We just know how they worship the B3. They can't walk and chew gum.
No, I think that just how you say they can't walk and chew gum, I don't want to let them come away thinking that Black people focus too much on our hairline and not on our education. Our hairline, we could focus on both. You can have a good hairline and get good grades, you know. A lot of Black people, a lot of our problems is bigger than just simple education. You're put on a bad track. You're Black, they put you in the bad track.
No, I ain't talking about public education. I'm talking about real education. I ain't talking about school grade. We know public school is crap. You already know that. Yeah. I'm talking about real education. I think that's part of the problem. Because then we talk about on Tuesday, we don't teach our own. Like, we so mad, want to get mad at the white school system, right. And like, why you teach my kid? Why you ain't teaching my kids history? Why you ain't teach your kids history?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, that was saying. I think a lot of our parties are messed up because if it wasn't messed up, we wouldn't be in the position we're in right now.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of Black people don't become Hebrew Israelites until they go to jail.
Oh, don't do that! Don't do that to us.
Yo. But you know, but sometimes they take that. You know what? One thing I learned: sometimes you got to be isolated to see what the real problems are. I know for me, like, you know, I grew up on this illusion, and it took for me to go to the military and be isolated in a whole different city, a whole different state, around people I don't know, to really see for y'all to work on me to see how things really are.
Right.
You were in the military?
See, you didn't even know that. Yep.
But you must have been in the Navy.
Nope. Nope. I was a fighter jet mechanic. in the Air Force.
Oh, okay. I'm like, this nigga's so old. He was in the Continental military.
Oh, the first Negro on the line. That's the Christmas addicts.
This nigga was
Oh, no, I know he got shot.
this nigga was working on Tuskegee Airmen planes.
Trying to fix the rudders.
Oh man! Yeah,
This nigga was working on planes when they died. They go,
They call kamikaze, Jay. See, education.
this nigga was working on planes. A dude on the bottom with a gun. G Money said, "Leave the Navy alone." G Money was in the Navy.
Yep, that's how you know.
G Money used to make soup on the bottom of an aircraft carrier. I think we talked about it. About you being in the Air Force. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't talk about it a lot, but yeah, it's definitely in there. And despite the experience I had in there, I mean, some things I can take from it as far as growth. You got to think about it. We 18 years old, you isolated in a whole different environment. It's gonna make you or break you, you know.
Yeah.
So, and they tried to break me, bro. They gave me extra time and basic training and everything. They really tried to break me. And
yeah, they will break you. They'll try to break you. My biggest thing was being all about Black empowerment. I was in there like, why am I in here? Like, I'm working for the Death Star, and I don't like the Death Star.
You know, this is crazy, but I mean, like you say, you took from that, you learn from it, and it helped you to be where you are, and it helped you be the man you are today. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. These different experiences allow us to be able to enrich the conversation when it comes to the Black space. And a lot of people need to first off go into these different experiences, explore something that you don't know about, and see how you can reel that in to the Black space. Like for instance, you know. Let's say you want to learn about how to build a house, learn masonry, learn these different things. You're going to be able to bring it back. Learn about the history of China. You see their mistakes. You see these different things. You're going to be able to bring those lessons back. And another thing too is you have to touch grass. There are people out here that are so stuck in certain bubbles and echo chambers.
Yep.
Because it's so comfortable. Go outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody that doesn't have the same beliefs as you. Because if you're not able to converse and hear out, because I've had conversations with people that are white supremacists, and they knew I was pro-Black, but guess what? We had that conversation, and we could chop it up. But at the end of the day, I know you on the other side of the line. When that time comes, I got something for you. But right now, we conversing, and I'm able to learn my enemy.
Yeah, that's what I took from being in the military. I know the enemy. I know how things operate and works.
Right.
I didn't get caught up in it. You know what I mean?
Hey Keeks, I gotta ask you a question, man. Were your parents concerned when they saw you hanging out with this old nigga all day?
No. Yeah, remember we met at church.
Was anyone like, why is he hanging out with this old guy?
What is this 14-year-old doing? But no, we met at church.
Yeah.
Your mom never asked you, like, what's going on? Why you over Black Ice's house so much?
No, I was already an adult by the time we started working on a Black narrative.
Yeah, I was running the multimedia ministry. I was the head of it, and so a lot of people was under me learning.
Yeah,
so
I was one of the main people under him.
Yeah, so like same way I was able to go to a high school, I was able to learn multimedia. A lot of people didn't have that opportunity. So I was always teaching the youth some of these same skills, so they got there and do their own thing and have ways to make money where they didn't have to go to school if they didn't want to.
Well, isn't that noble? Isn't that noble?
yeah. But we go back to why you doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's lots of the him and I do that we don't announce that we do because we do care about the people. I mean, like I said, if people know about the work we're doing with 6 Zeros, and they may know about the pamphlets, but I was feeding the homeless a couple weeks ago. Around Atlanta. I mean, it's something we did. We fed some college students a couple years ago. Yeah. So there's so many things you try to do.
Different projects and different
projects. And we didn't look for a cosign.
You don't got to announce.
Yeah, we just got to do it. It's something that's on our heart to do it. We do it. Right. And, and to me, that's truly be pro-Black is wanting to help your own and build your own community.
Right. Going out and helping Black businesses and, different things that, like, just doing work.
It's funny, man. It's funny. I talked to a tech recruiter today. and they were just going through the resume and everything, and so they see the day job, and then they see all the freelance stuff I've done, and it's like, well, how you explain this to our client? I'm like, well, this is the reason why I came in design in the first place, is to help my own community with UX, because I'm rarely available. And she just got quiet. She's like, I like that answer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna
I hate when recruiters ask stupid questions like that. They'll be looking at your resume. Like, how would you explain the fact that you went from this job to this job? Because I did.
Because they pay more.
Stupid fuck. That's why I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of playing that little game. You little tap dance show you all got to do. Hey, do you like my resume, Mr. Man? Nah, I'm done.
I got done with it, man. I've just been straight up honest with it, and I feel better than to know, like, yo, this was motivating me to be a designer. You know, I really enjoy helping people through my talents of research and design. And to me, I get a lot more. I see the results of my work all the time. You know, like, man, it's so funny because it's a new show on Hulu coming out like in a couple of weeks, and found out one of my clients is acting on the show. Wow. That I shot like years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I'm not surprised to see you're in there because, you know, you kind of know the people who are going to make it. You know what I mean? Yeah. This had shit that I always had to air about her because she was always about her business. So it's cool seeing years later that, damn, I mean, we had a conversation about acting, and now she's doing it. Now I'm not gonna watch it because because you know this Kerry Washington produced show, but
no, thank you.
I'm just happy for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, we got to wrap up this segment. G Mummy, she said she was kidding. She was a computer programmer when she was in the Navy. She worked on the Tandy, actually.
The Tandy 5000.
Yeah, she coded the application that kept track of trousers on in aircraft carriers. We really appreciate your service, G Mummy. Thank you.
Yeah. Do we really?
Let's see what she got. I know she got something slick to say. She's like thinking of it right now. But moving on to parting thoughts. We're gonna start with Black Ice. What's your parting thoughts for today?
Yo, let's start thinking critically. Start looking up to celebrities or who we think are celebrities.
Right.
Don't lose track of who the real enemy is. You know, and it's the ones that's controlling this nation. They got us in like why you're operating where you're operating right now. Yeah. Now, yes, there are enemies across the borders. I get that. That's, you know, get that too. But let's not forget the main enemy is, you know, who's the one that brought us on the ships, who one that's raped us and murdered us, hung us on trees. Like, let's not forget about them. Right. Those are the ones I really got smoke with, you know. And like I can't put my attention on too. It's so much stuff going on. We have no allies. We understand that, but I'm not gonna sit here and just fight every single battlefield. That's not smart. Right. I'm going after the main kahuna.
That's a phenomenal point. And military strategy. You don't want to spread your troops thin, and that's one thing. We do have allies, and the allies are those that aren't coons, and that's what I would like for people to realize more and more. And another thing too is we've got to be adults. At the end of the day, we've got to stop trying to find somebody to always have to lead us. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and bring your research to the table. And another thing that I want to bring up too is the world is a very complex place. You might be fed certain narratives, you might be told certain things about how things went down. Do your own research. You might find out something interesting, and you might find out where the riders are and where the coons are. You might see certain lines. So just be, don't be so open-minded your brain drop out, but be critical.
Oh, last point, man. You can't be that productive if you want to Twitter space 6-7 hours a day. I'm sorry. I was how y'all do it. Yeah. I tried, like, I'm trying to work. I'm trying to be in meetings all day, and I'm like, y'all still talking?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
like same conversation.
Yeah, so don't be talking about how you all about Black empowerment and all about the people. You talking online 6-7 hours a day. You cannot be doing that much work. I don't believe it. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm like, do you have nothing in your day that requires your undivided attention? Because I'm like, how can you legit?
Feed the kids.
Have lunch. Like, come on, man.
Baby hungry in the background. Mom, get off the damn Twitter space.
Mama, what you doing?
No, y'all speaking right now. I can't get off.
Yeah, I'm about to step up. They call me up.
Oh, man.
I just got moved up to listener. I can't cook right now.
You're gonna be cold fistics,
man.
Oh my, yo, this is our like I was when I was at the reparations task force. There was a couple people on Twitter Spaces, and then when I got back home, that same Twitter space was running. I'm like, yo, what are y'all like? What are y'all talking about? Like, it's crazy how things repeat itself. Like, party lines came back. Like, you remember party lines back? Like, they came back. Party lines are back. They're on Twitter, man. That's wow. That's a wild world. Hey, Jerry Butt, you said y'all walking on thin ice. Are we walking on thin ice because of that G Mummy joke? And then AT, I'm gonna call you AT for now. This is not a show. This is a digital broadcast in cyberspace.
Look at
always say digital transmission in cyberspace. All right. And my part in thoughts is this, man. Y'all, man, stop people worshiping, man. Period. Point blank. Stop worshiping people. Yeah. Stop looking for an easy button. There's no easy button. It only get harder from here because the more we push on the system, the more the system's gonna push back at us. And if you ain't got the heart, to push through just because Tariq ain't shout you out, man. You don't have the heart for what this system got in store. Like what Black Ice said, man. What this empire does all across the world, it will do to us. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna do it to us. So if someone didn't say, I co-sign your flyer endeavor, and you disheartened, it's just I don't think you got the fortitude to see this entire mission all the way through. I understand being discouraged. I get it. It's challenging, but nothing's easy. If whatever you're trying to do, if it was easy, it would have already been done.
Right.
That's what you gotta remember. If it's easy, people would do it. We love easy. Jerry Bun, it's a fly out over flyers. Like I got some flyers for 6-0s today that I'm not gonna show anybody until it's time. Thank you. And I'm gonna have to proselytize them, and I don't expect anybody to help me proselytize it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. Stop people worshiping, man. Think critically. I'm gonna show y'all some ads right now. I'm gonna show you a little sneak peek one. I don't know if I should show this one. I'm gonna drop it on y'all real quick. Thank you.
Boy, I did the mix slide.
You know what I mean? Dang, that was nice.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's a little sneak peek of what we got coming up. But it's been a pleasure, y'all. I'm gonna one more ad and then we
My name is Black Ice.
And I'm Akis, and we're the Black Narrative.
We are a Black First and Hebrew Israelite channel on YouTube that broadcasts live every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every week, we discuss controversial issues and challenge false narratives that are fed to Black people through mass media. We share research through videos and encourage uncomfortable conversations amongst the Black community. Look up The Black Narrative on YouTube or go to our website, www.theblacknarrative.tv. Shalom.
How y'all got a Black empowerment podcast and it sounds like it's I'm in Spain every time it come on.
Yeah, that slaps. It slaps. That's why.
I feel like I'm at a bullfight every time y'all show come on. Y'all got the longest intro, man. Y'all intro is like 10 minutes. I'd be like, damn, I gotta do something. I'm like, when this show gonna start?
Man,
like,
we had to, man. Cause you never experienced being knocked off the platform for months at a time. Yeah, so it takes a while for people to get notified about our broadcast, man. So we had to do it.
Oh yeah, and another thing too, you gotta have something to get down to before the broadcast.
Man. Yeah, it's the opener to a concert, bro. You never been to a concert that had no openers.
Man, you see the app's opener. That now you talk about slapping. You slapping in the face. Bop, 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 bop. That watch. Wait till that full commercial drop on the Black Authority and on Tariq's podcast. Man, they ain't even ready. Wait till the commercial we're gonna shoot. We're gonna shoot a commercial on Saturday too. It's real. It's gonna be real funny. I'm excited about this one. I'm excited and nervous because I'm gonna go a little harder than I have before in the past. But hey, everyone, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching episode 10 of The Lunch Break. We made it happen
Appreciate
10 times in a row
All
so
right.
far. That's discipline and consistency. We appreciate you tapping in with us every or bi-weekly. And with that, I'm gonna bring in this with some beautiful, gorgeous, classy jazz music. Yeah.